Well, hello, Gemini. Welcome to your mid October reading. So, we are going to jump right in. Oh, I already see a card for you Warrior. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroicism, stoicism, and self sacrifice in conquering the ego. You know what's interesting is I feel like this is for someone else, right? So it feels as though you need to stand your ground about something. It's kind of like if you say to someone, for instance, I'm not going to give you any more money, and they hit you with every sob story in the book. You got to stand by what you believe or what you said. It feels very much like I'm standing up for what I'm saying. It's not about ego as much as it's about standing up for yourself and what you believe in, you know? That's what I'm getting, okay? Okay. Cuz it doesn't feel self gratifying in that way. Like just satisfying your ego, it doesn't feel that way. Celestial gatekeeper, timing is critical. Um I feel like this is you have some sort of plan. You have some sort of idea, and nothing's the matter with you sticking with it. Guardian, guard your energy. Yeah. Stay. You believe something, believe that. That's what it's saying to me. Like, this is very much stand your ground, Gemini. I feel like it's getting a little tough though, as far as someone making you feel bad or trying to get you to change your mind because they're in a tough spot, like they're in the vice grip, you know? They're in the grip of making a hard decision and they're like, I need Gemini to come and save me. I need Gemini to do this. I need you to do this. But they're like just one step out from learning the lesson or getting what they need from it. You just have to stick with it. Okay, so we have flying. Okay. Making a choice. And goblins. Yeah, I feel like this is making you feel bad. And you almost want to give in or you almost want to like bend to someone's will. But it's like you've made a choice and you need to stick with it. Your whole idea was like you're trying to make a better tomorrow or a better future by doing these things. And it's like, it would be much easier for you to just give in. Why wouldn't it, But it's not going to change anything if you do that. So it's like you kind of made this decision in a time where it was easy to make this decision, for this new beginning. And now you're in the active throes of making choices to solidify it, like sticking with what you said. And this is where it's getting a little bit confusing. This is where the monsters come out and play, this is where the hard hitting heavy stuff comes in. Okay, so we have 6 of Cups, 10 of Swords, Temperance, 7 of Cups, Death, 6 of Wands, Ace of Wands, 9 of Coins, Knight of Swords, the Hangman, and the Tower. Yeah. And then underneath is the Star. And the Star is underneath because all this is to heal. All this is to make things better. This is not anger driven. This is like, I'm doing this because this is what's best for me, for us, for the bigger picture. So there is like sacrifice, and sacrifice is not easy. So it's telling me that there's things that need to break down, right? And it's going to be hard watching someone fall or watching something break or watching something kind of dissolve. it's almost like watching a disaster take place, but knowing that it has to break down in order to be built stronger. Mm, wow. Okay. So these two major arcana, of course, and then we have the temperance and the death. I'm gonna say this, Gemini. Death is in the middle because you're in the process of like deterioration of something. And that's not always bad. It's like deterioration of something that needed to change, right? And you have to be patient. But it's interesting because the temperance is at the top, meaning that your patience is wearing thin, which means that you kind of want to double back. You know, you're like, or you're rethinking your decisions and how you're moving forward. I will say this about the Six of Cups. There's an idea in your head of, okay, if I just, maybe I need to rethink the plan. Okay. Maybe I need to go back to how things were. But then there's this realization that if I go back, what will this heal? What will this fix? It's like you admitting defeat, right? So the temperance is here to say, be patient, right? It seems unrealistic. I don't know if that's a word I want to use. It seems almost magical. You're like, okay, magically this will happen if I do this. You're like, it's a long shot. That's what I want to say. You're like, it'll be a long shot if this picks up, if this person understands, right? But I'm making a decision to start from a blank slate, or to start things over, or to kind of revamp or change the situation a little bit. So there's some hope here. Like, I have hope that this will work. I have hope that this will be a good plan. I feel like the more you move on, the more it gets more confusing, because it seems like it would be easier just to go back. It would be easier to just give in, you know, but that's not going to change anything. It's interesting because in this situation, it looks to me with these four cards like it has to fall. It has to disintegrate, you know? It has to be hard for them in order for them to learn, unfortunately, if this is a person. It has to be this difficult. It's sad though, right? And it's like you're not going to get the recognition for the amount of patience and kindness and moderation that you're giving this individual, because all they're seeing is the negative and how it makes them feel and how they don't want to face things, you know? So it's like, I forgot what they call it. Why is it skipping my mind? It's like a selfless act of kindness. Where you don't get recognition. I can't think of what the phrase is, but it's like you're not getting recognition for the level of sacrifice that you're giving here. Like, someone is so boggled by their own situation that they can't see the bigger picture, but you can. So I feel like even though these emotions are confusing for you, you're like, I remember what it was like back then, and I don't want to see you back there, and I don't want to see me back there. So this is about moving forward, but it feeling really hard because another person can't see what you're trying to gift them. I will say this, Gemini, you're doing fine money-wise, especially maybe after a hard time. I feel like things are getting easier for you, right? Like, there may have been a struggle with finances or a struggle with giving money to someone or supporting someone, but I feel like you're at the end of whatever that is, or whatever the end of this payment is, and you're about to be like set and good with money. So you're actually doing well overall, and that's what's interesting with these two cards here, is that you don't need to feel like you're doing the wrong thing because you're clear headed. It's interesting because I feel like they're not. The other half of this is not clear headed and they're just like scrambling to make sense or to make things change. And that's what the goblins is. Like, this is a person in a bad place, you know, like mentally or emotionally. But you're very clear on what's happening. And it doesn't feel bad or negative. It's just that I feel like this person is hitting you with a lot of emotional things because they don't know what else to do. It kind of reminds me of, we all have seen Intervention, okay? So it reminds me of just like an intervention where you're trying to help someone and they're like, you hate me, you don't love me, you wouldn't make me go to rehab if you cared about me. And you're like, but I know that I'm doing this for you, you know? You are thinking I'm hurting you, but I'm doing this for you. And this is what this is. So it's more like you're very clear headed. You're in the right. Oops, sorry. You're in the right, whatever it is, for sure. Like, I don't see you being in the wrong. And I see you being very, like, you're in the right. I don't know how else to say it. Like, you're settled, you're prosperous, you're flourishing. This is not like karmically hitting you in any way because you're not doing anything negative. But it's because someone is being brutal towards you, almost angry. They're it's like somebody's pulling every insult out of the bag they can grab just to make you feel unhappy because they know that they have to change and they're resisting that. So be as patient as you possibly can. You know, the hermit is also very lonely. And that's a lonely feeling because you're like, am I the only one that thinks this is good? You know? But it's because the hermit also has knowledge because they withdraw enough to think, to process without outside influence. And it's like, you know that this change needs to happen. It's just hard to see it happen. Wow. What's going on, Gemini? What's going on? It's intense, but also very in touch. Okay. So let's do some clarifying here. Let's talk about the 7 of Cups. Yeah. This is like knowing you're right. And this is what I was saying, like knowing you're right. You don't need to worry because someone is saying things to you out of anger that's making you think. Because that's the whole point. The whole point is to make you doubt yourself or rethink what you said. But there's no need for you to do that. It's like you're really good. Like, be persistent. Know what's going on. You know, like if you need to walk away or something, then do that. But it's like you're good. Gemini, it's like, I'm good. I'm trying to help you. You know, like there's nothing the matter with me. That's why I'm trying to help you. That's what it feels like to me. Not to laugh because this is probably serious. Okay, 6 of Wands. Yeah. This is a vulnerability to this person and they're just trying to gather their strength back. You know, like they're trying to justify their ego instead of allowing this break to happen so they can rethink or restructure. They have this idea of like, Gemini does not love me because they don't see things the way I see it. And that's not how the world works. People have different perceptions and different ways of viewing things. It doesn't mean that I don't care about you. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. We just have different visions, right? Like there's some truth to what I'm thinking and there may be some truth to what you're thinking. But it's like, yeah, this is definitely a lesson for them. Yeah, they're being very defensive. See how this is the 7 of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. They're being very defensive on something they need to change. Like they're clinging to something and they're almost abusing you in a way, because abuse comes in different forms, in order to stay the same when things need to change. Yeah, they need to change. They need to change, let something go, rethink some sort of idea they have. There's some sort of philosophy that they follow that's not smart, you know, or not good, or it needs to change. Um, and they're so invested that I feel like it's hard for them to let go of. I will say this on the bright side, Gemini, you're about to make some changes in your life. I don't know if you're starting a new job, getting a raise, or buying a home, or buying a new car. I don't know what that is, but I feel like now that you've kind of let this energy go and say what you needed to say, you're focusing more on yourself. Um, yeah, it's like you're not putting your time and energy and like your manifestation energy into this anymore. You're putting it into yourself or your life. Yeah, you're definitely letting this go. You definitely put so much energy into it that you see that it was a fixation. You don't have control over this. So it's like, I'm going to stop this from being a block in my life. So I feel you doing things for yourself, which is beautiful coming out of this. Yeah, you definitely are keeping peace in your life. And that's the whole point. That's the point of you speaking up. That's the point of you getting involved, is you're like, I want peace in my life. I want stability in my life. And this is a thing that's causing an issue, or this is a thing that's causing a struggle. And instead of confirming this negative energy or these negative behaviors, I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay? That's what I'm seeing. It's like you have this awareness now that you're not going to evade it. Okay? All right. Wow. Okay. Medicine bag. Absolutely. So you got the healing juice. Eagle communication. There's an eagle over there too. And clouds shape shifting. Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get another wolf. But I think I didn't get another wolf because this is not, a wolf has a sense of power behind it, like a lightning bolt, sort of. So the lightning bolt is like you standing by what you believe in, which is why that is guard your energy, right? It's like you're guarding this new beginning that you want for yourself, and you're not going to let anyone stop that from happening. But the eagle is coming up twice because there's a lot of thought. There's a lot of wisdom here, right? There's a lot of communication, where verbally or non-verbally, like by actions. So anyhow, what I'm seeing with these three cards is you have the answer, Gemini, right? You know how to heal yourself. So you're doing what you need for yourself. It's not that you're not thinking of others. I feel like you said what you needed to say. It's not like you're just blocking someone out, but you're not going to keep repeating it or keep going over it when you said what you need to say. Because the whole point of this is to let the negative or the blocking energy go so you can excel. Okay. And because of that, things are changing for you. And not only are things changing for you for the better, but also your environment is changing. So this person is going through changes as well, and they're trying to blame you, which maybe makes someone else mad at you, and you're like, what's going on? Like, there's a lot of moving parts to this for the moment. So I'm interested to see what November is going to bring for you, but this is just the end of October. Okay. All right, Gemini, I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye-bye.